look at everything when we are actually here at the event, these guys have been firing on all cylinders. Like, you actually hear them getting loud in between all these games, and that's not something that we do typically see at groups. But when we are talking about that stamina, when we look at teams like EG and VP, do we think that maybe they just have a little bit extra in the tank right now because they've been coming out relatively cold?
Yeah, that's what I would hope so. EG especially had a very cold day one, a very cold beginning of day two, and then it all heated up as soon as RTZ got that rampage. Ever since then, they've been looking not necessarily pristine, but they've been looking much stronger, and that's the signs of life that we usually expect from an EG. VP, on the other hand, it doesn't even seem consistent from then who they're winning, who they're losing to. They ended up getting 2-0'd by Na'Vi, a CIS sister team, and overall it was just very surprising that no one really has a strong handle on when VP are on form or off form.
Well, let's actually take a look at everything that is going to be going on today, because a lot of the things that Tsunami did just mention, we're going to get to put that to the test. Like we did mention, VP versus EG, that's how we're going to kick everything off today, so we're going to put that under the microscope in just a little bit here. But I want to start to talk about some of these other matchups and how impactful they really can be. We're going to move through them relatively quickly here, but starting off with that Stream A here for day 4. I'm already excited for VG versus OG as well.
VG versus OG is definitely going to be a very, very interesting one, although OG is locked for their upper bracket. It's mainly VG trying to make their way and join them with OG. Meanwhile, with Liquid and TNC, they're on the bubble of figuring out that lower bracket, upper bracket situation. It's going to be kind of difficult for Liquid. I think that historically Southeast Asian teams have proven to be their demons every once in a while, but it's going to be an exciting match regardless.
Definitely an exciting one, but that's not all we have in store. Taking a look at Stream B. Now, Chaos, as we already did mention, this is going to be the squad that is no longer making it. They are the first team eliminated from our 8 team, but playing against Secret. Imagine if they do win. I mean, I feel like Secret's already pretty much in a solid spot, but this is just one of the things that Chaos can really start doing.
Yeah, and one of their players, Misery, does have something to play for, as we may explain in just a little bit.
So not supposed to tell them yet.
It's just a teaser. Don't worry about it.
It's one of the secrets.
It's one of the... Oh, I see what you did there, Rich. Stream C also has NIP present, who is also on Stream B. NIP is a very important team to be paying attention to because they are on the cusp of elimination in their group. They are right at the bottom. Originally it was them and Royal Never Give Up, who you see as the first match versus Fnatic. And on Stream D, it's going to be Vici versus Na'Vi. Also, again, Vici Gaming has been looking far better than... I'd say they've been matching expectations. Na'Vi, however, exceeding expectations.
Now, right now, if we were to go through all the permutations, we would have you here for several days, potentially.
Yeah, give or take. And I think there were 6,890 something.
Yeah, it's actually mind-boggling. But a lot of those branches they're crazy branches, right? And we're going to be cutting off those crazy branches as we get a few more data points in these next matchups, and we're going to have a reality tree. We're only going to have a few potential outcomes when we actually do get back to that middle of the day panel. But we should talk about the fact that today could be, obviously big picture is what does the bracket look like, but the flavor of it could be tiebreakers.
Oh, for sure. That's why we don't really know if it's going to be a long day or a short day. Things may just all fall into pieces, and we won't know where anyone stands, or everything goes very organized, everyone matches expectations, they go lower bracket elimination, everything's clean, but I don't want clean, I want it dirty.
Let's talk about the heroes.
Let's talk about the heroes. Let's talk about the game of Dota 2. It's a very balanced game if you guys aren't familiar with it. However, there are still some unplayed heroes. It's day 3 of group stage, just ended. Day 4 is beginning, and that's it. That's all the heroes that are remaining. 10 unplayed heroes so far at TI. It's difficult to extract trends. Obviously, some of the times, the heroes are fads. Pro players see something that works, they're like, maybe we should try that. And some of the heroes get forgotten by the wayside. For me, it was very surprising to see the top 3 heroes that you see there, Brewmaster, Clockwork, Darkseer. Clockwork maybe not so much, but Brewmaster and Darkseer, these are heroes that have been very, very popular throughout this DPC season. It's just that in the current offlane, it's not really very conducive to them. The original offlane, when they were popular a few months ago, was you were really just trying to scramble for whatever you could get. You're trying to, cut creep waves constantly and stuff like that. Now, it's a little bit easier, and you don't need those heroes like Brewmaster and Darkseer. You can start getting greedy in the offlane.
Yeah, I really like that idea of kind of saying fads, right? You really are in a situation when you are in groups that you kind of do want to try some stuff out and figure it out. And a lot of the times, not only at TI, but just in Dota tournaments, period. You see that meta evolve as you get further on in the tournament, and usually by the time you get to the main event, everything does look relatively different, but a huge amount of diversity in what people have been playing thus far. Also, a lot of weird stuff has been happening. Like, let's talk about some of those comebacks. I mean, obviously, we do want to get into the game relatively quickly here, but I do think it's worth noting. I mean, like, we're seeing people just have mega creeps, and then comebacks happen. The first time that happened, like, that took years for that to happen. Obviously, the game's changed a little bit, but we've seen it, I think, 5 times now.
Yeah. A lot of people think that mega creeps need to get buffed, but I think it's a great stat line. Mega creep comebacks are always exciting. Some of the most memorable games. The most memorable game of all time for me was the EG home comeback.
And that's the first time, right?
It was one of the, at such a grand stage like at TI.
At
like
TI,
that.
I was saying.
Yeah. And so it's, I think it's exciting like that.
It definitely is. And, you know, you're talking about liking it dirty. That definitely does go with what you like. It's very on brand for you. Me?
All right, calm down, Dick.
I like it crazy.
Also, calm down, Rich.
I like it crazy.
I know you do.
And speaking of crazy, we have a pretty big announcement to make, and that's going to be about one of the craziest series that we will see.
Okay.
Period. At TI. That's going to be our All-Star matchup. Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, folks. Here it is, the All-Star game finally revealed right in front of your faces. Let's talk about how the teams are actually going to be picked. This one is pretty interesting. Top 10 players are going to be locked in based off of their fantasy score from the group stage. So that's how we're actually going to see people get their berth into that All-Star game. And also, we should talk about how that format's actually going to work. It, of course, is going to be ARDM.
ARDM? The myth, the legend, it's finally happening. ARDM at an all-star match, and in such a what a balanced process to bring players into it. Usually I'm seeing all these, well, actually players are usually trying to dodge it, which makes no sense to me. But here, this is pure skill that gets you into it. The best players currently doing their fantasy stuff, they didn't even know the implications of it, but they're going to be showing up in this ARDM All-Star match.
And they're trying to dodge ARDM, and they're trying to dodge my DMs. I don't know what's going on with these players, but you guys can also get in on the fun. I'm not talking about DMs. Please don't slide into my DMs right now. But fans are going to be able to actually get into everything that is going on here by actually selecting their favorite player and grabbing some of those battle points.
So there are stakes on the line for me as a viewer. I can sit back and watch and be getting levels at the same time. This is the All-Star game I dreamed of.
Stakes are very high for you right now. Everybody's watching you.
These weak arms are heavy.
Don't lose that spaghetti. Let's take a look at everything else that we do want to talk about today with this All-Star game, and that's going to be the leaders right now. And one of the little tiny restrictions that you may have missed was it said only one player per team. So that's going to be something that's right in front of our faces right now when we take a look at those top 2 names.
I would have never guessed Pylai would be topping the charts of fantasy right now, but look at this now. There are still games to be played for these teams. As you can see, Dark does not have any more games to play, so he will not be able to get any more points to move him higher up this leaderboard. But the top, was it 15 or 20 players will be, or is it the top 10? Oh, okay,
10.
yeah. So we will see the top 15 players on this fantasy. Currently, you see 6 through 10. So you see, 2 TNC players. You can only have one. So whichever one's higher at the end of this day will be the one selected for the All-Star match.
There are a lot of duplicate teams here, which can really shake stuff up. And another thing that you do want to be paying attention to is how many games do remain, obviously. But a player like Puppey right now with 2 games remaining, and the fact that I don't think we saw anyone else from Secret, obviously is in a very good place to potentially get thrown into the fray.
And his match is against Chaos. And so the thing that we were mentioning earlier is that Misery potentially will be able to make it to the main stage because he is very, very close to being able to break into that top 10 fantasy. And if he does that, he will continue a very long streak of showing up at TI main stages.
Yeah, and that definitely is something that can be exciting if you are somebody who wants to watch them. The other thing is that's not the only way that you guys can get involved. Of course, you can tweet out at us throughout the entirety of the event. I know we've been actually checking that hashtag TI9. That's going to be at Dota2, though, across all social media. You can also jump into Facebook. And if you're not a boomer like me, you can head over to Instagram. You a boomer?
No, I'm a Zoomer.
Yeah, dude, that's big, dude. That's stop. Oh man. Okay, let's actually talk about the first game of the day. Man, you're actually living up to your name here, Tsunami.
Am I now?
Yeah, you're making me very wet.
No, please.
Sweat. I'm very nervous.
Okay.
But
Can we get makeup in here?
Need to
Can we get
talk
makeup
about
in here, please?
Oh man, that already happened to me once. But we need to actually talk about EG versus VP in just a few short seconds. We are going to be kicking off this game, and guys, you do want to keep in mind that this is a series that does not only show whether these teams are going to be able to pick up the momentum that they've been looking for in TI, it also is going to affect how many different permutations can happen. Are we going to see tiebreakers? What is the bracket going to look like, the championship bracket? We're going to be finding out very shortly here. It is going to be EG versus VP, but it's time to jump down to our casters right now and get the final day of groups for TI underway. Let's see what the casters have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, VP against EG. What a way to start the final day of the group stage. I'm ODPixel here with Fogged, and I'm looking forward to this one. Ourselves, we've not personally got to see EG in any of the games that we've covered. We have seen a bit of VP.
Yep.
It was in the series against OG where wasn't one of VP's finest times. They did get stomped 2 times. Let's see if EG is going to be able to do it, or if VP is able to pick themselves back up and come into their games today, which they need to do, right? They're sort of down there at the bottom, VP. These wins ever so important, and the same to be said for EG if they want to hold on to that chance of getting the upper bracket spot going into the main event.
VP yesterday coming in kind of clutch, taking the 2 games versus Infamous. Now they're in an okay spot. They had gone on a 7-game loss streak on VP. They started 3 wins in a row and then 7 losses in a row. So now coming in versus EG, they have those 2 wins after beating Infamous, which is looking pretty good. So yeah, could be a pretty okay day if they're able to take these.
Yeah, we've all had those 7 loss streaks, and you know what comes after a 7 loss streak? A 7 win streak. It's it's the forced 50% that we all know and experience in our pubs. So maybe this is the time for VP to get that streak.
Evil geniuses turn to ban.
Yeah, they've actually picked the least heroes here at the tournament. They picked 30. I believe I looked and I saw VP had picked 38, so they picked a little more variety, but not like an insane amount. The other teams, I've seen some, so that's like way higher when you're looking for variance. But yeah, you have to think that VP is going to be a little bit prepared for what EG is going to be bringing to the table. And I like seeing what VP did last night when after they went on that like 7 loss streak when they're playing versus Infamous. They just it looked like they were just like, all right, guys, we can't just be doing like just picking Omni Knight first phase or anything like that. We actually have to start straying outside the box and just doing some things that just maybe people aren't picking so much, but this is Dota. We saw what OG's been doing. Bring new heroes to the table. Who cares? They picked some Doom, some Necrophos. It ended up working great for them. So yeah, definitely gonna probably see VP straying a bit outside of the norm.
5 seconds remaining.
Tanky cores in particular. That's what I saw. The Doom and the Necrophos was because we're seeing so many strength cores, and that's a percent-based damages. Yeah. So see what they're gonna do.
And the opening bans, no surprises. I was seeing Lesh very, very popular at this moment in time. And Kunkka has had a lot of bans, right? I feel like we're seeing a lot of drafts that Kunkka is just first phase banning them.
I think banning Lesh versus EG always good, especially after what we saw with VP yesterday. They picked Lesh both of their games, and no one had a better game in the second one, but it did not look hot at all in the series that we saw for them. While you look at EG, Sumail's been playing the hero for the last like 5 months in cross tournaments, and he's really dominant. Probably the best, or like top 2, top 3 Leshes that we've been seeing played.
10
right between him.
remaining.
Final opening ban from EG. I mean, what else have we really seen? You feel VP that bit Gyro.
That's a big one.
The majority of teams against first phase against VP.
Mag and Gyro. We've seen VP get banned against them quite a lot here.
Picks.
I hope we just get a lot of skirmishing. So that's pretty much what we've been seeing across the board mostly here, but I want to see like Arteezy farming, Ramses farming on opposite sides, and just 4 people battling.
Yeah, this is all classic, like Arteezy lifestealer, maybe some Ramses raking, be able to match at a similar pace. So the lifesteal is the big sort of question. We've seen EG, they started off the group stage, didn't have the best performances with it, but then, of course, the must turn around where we saw that one Martor got the fire back bar. If that's going to be what EG look to try and rest on once again, even if VP do not in the first phase ban, in the second phase.
Evil geniuses
to take out the AA. Okay.
All right, so sort of looking at that one, you're probably saying what the Alchemist.
I'd assume so, yeah.
Alk's in the game.
Alk gets brought up. These teams have to be looking. You have to start spreading your pools, right? They only pick 30, and EG they like doing that. They like stick. After you've been seeing these teams, how much variety they've been showing, I feel like you have to start diversifying a little bit. Still the Ogre, there's still that
Virtus
Shadow Demon, the
Pros
ones that we've seen and
turn to
love
pick
so much.
Enchantress.
Enchantress also slips through.
Virtus
Some
Pros
teams just really
turn to
favouring
pick
opening. We
Alchemist.
mentioned, of course, with the AA ban, it was no surprise.
Yep.
Alchemist first pick for VP. Follow it up, let's see. Definitely, yeah, SD sort of jumps out as one of those super strong supports that has been in after bans.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
There it is. Again, not a surprise here. VP, after that AA ban, the fact that these two heroes were in, what else were they going to pick? No,
Yep.
these are the two heroes that are no surprises. Back to EG.
One thing I really like about the Shadow Demon, besides being good versus Enchantress and also being like a save versus the Alchemist, is what I've seen is this is like a king of stacks.
10
You can stack the
seconds
whole jungle
remaining.
really easily with your Shadow Poison, set up your Alchemist just to be able to farm it up freely there.
5
Some teams like to
seconds
stack a lot more than
geniuses
others.
turn
I've
to
seen Alliance are
battle.
really favorable about their stacking, but we'll
Ah.
see if that's with VP. They take the ET. For popular hero that we've seen a lot. Also,
Yeah,
can
very
work.
well. So we'll see what OG is again. Also, another team that do this, and GT. They know. They know as well. Heroes, if they're available, grab them up. We'll see. We've got to have to
10
look to see what
seconds
EG's approach is going to be to deal with an Alchemist lineup.
5 seconds
Right now, the
remaining.
thing that ET always like makes you always happy
Virtus
about is that
Pros
now you're like,
turn
okay,
to ban.
we are
Geniuses
probably gonna be
turn to
okay in
ban.
damage. Like ET always just makes everybody else do so much, even if it's versus like these strength heroes, where it's not like the old days where it's the agi heroes just get put to absolute zero, something like that. They will be having their plus armors from some other sources, but it will always amplify everybody else to be able to take.
We start to ban out those heroes that you revel on the big towns like the Alchemist. Potentially, you'd imagine Pasha's
10
hero
seconds
not
remaining.
to play those big sort of beefy initiators.
5 seconds
Bit of a
remaining.
nuisance up against.
Yeah, I think he's something like a.
Virtus
Tide Runner.
Pros
I was going to say, the
turn
Passion
to
They're
Tide
still
battle.
really liking the tide.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are. Mirana taken out by EG, makes the Shadow Demon there, just
Yep.
puts a little bit of threat. Enchantress, that's the one thing, is like Enchantress, you can get burst down, especially if you're just chain stunned. So
Yeah,
the SD plus the Mirana.
And of course, the one that sort of really jumps out to me that's still there is the Lina, right?
Yes.
For VP. Lina, definitely a hot pick for
10
them.
seconds
But Roger had a
remaining.
rough game. If they were to put it on Roger again. Did not have the best time,
5
although they did
seconds
just kind of get ran
remaining.
at.
I still wouldn't mind
OG.
seeing it because of the SD. It's
The burst versus Enchantress.
super nice.
Yeah.
And, you know, there is that. But
Yes.
if they want to, obviously run
Virtus
Ramses on the
Pros
Alch and
turn
have
to
that
pick.
mid. There's the life
I like
the band that we
Lifestealer
talked
ban.
about.
Yep, I think we've seen a lot of teams now start picking the Lifestealer versus the Alchemist a lot of the times because you don't have to go for the Radiance build. You go your Armlet, you go your Dazzle, and you just do such straight physical.
Mereska has arrived.
Ooh, taking the Willow themselves.
Fan of this hero actually. I think it also gives you a lot of like setups too. It's I don't know if they can also go for like a Morphling that we've seen the combo, the Willow Morphling, which is absurd. But yeah, Willow provides you a lot of team fight, a lot of control as well.
10
But again,
seconds
VP's really
remaining.
been sticking with we're picking two. That's what I've been seeing them do in majority of
5
games. They had
seconds
some
remaining.
AA Grimstrokes, they had some Lich plus. Maybe they had Lich Tree that game. But yeah, they've been picking a lot of squishy supports. Heavy magic damage coming out from Willow, right? Versus that Enchantress as well, when you're able to put your levels online.
EG.
Virtus
Another hero.
Pros turn to pick.
Pango!
Okay, Pango.
So that's probably crit.
Yeah, that'll be the crit Pango.
Yep, the Enchantress plus the Pangolier, the disruptive heroes to just mess with the carries farm. Pango plus E. We saw OG run that as well. That's a crazy
Yeah,
amount of team
yeah.
fight that comes in just from the two supports, and it's a lot of damage that comes from the supports as well.
Have we seen RTZ bring any Void to the
10
group stage?
seconds remaining.
But
'Cause
it
I
does
feel
look
like
like a pretty nice
this
Void
would
game.
be a
5
pretty
seconds
nice Void
remaining.
game for EG.
Yeah, Willow's pretty good. But Willow's pretty annoying to play against because you get caught in
Sure.
the brood. The brambles are pretty
But I
obnoxious.
guess at the same time, the Shadow Realm harassment in the lane is you're going to be able to time walk that heavy hit each time.
Are they going to go for a pressure lane here? Because they don't see the carry yet. Do they want to keep it over? Okay, so Centaur plus the
Pashes.
Willow. So that's going to be their pressure lane here.
Yeah, and that this is sort of the reason why they pick sort of the squishy supports because they always know
Yeah.
that Pasha, they're always going to get something big for Pasha.
Good way to get on top of this Enchantress too on the ET2.
I like the Void, dude.
It looks great.
You
The
can't
Void looks nice.
stampede
Yeah.
out of the Chronosphere.
The Void definitely does look nice for EG now, in particular
10
versus Centaur.
seconds
Especially because they
remaining.
don't have their usual.
You have the ET, yeah, you're able to
5
punish sort of the
seconds remaining.
squishy supports at the back.
Yeah, in particular it's
Virtus
because of that
Go.
ET,
Yeah.
right?
Turn to back. Naga
Naga
Siren.
So you have a Naga instead.
Another setup. That's the other one. They can set up the ET plus the Pangolier. You can look to take fights on your own accord, and now we have a Naga Siren versus an Alchemist line. Oh, late game. If you can make it there as EG, right? Because Alchemist, we've seen it just peak that much faster. The Naga Siren's gonna. Can they actually bring the pressure onto the Nagas?
10 seconds remaining. 5
Final
seconds
bound for
remaining.
VP.
They
Expecting.
don't deal with the
Evil
illusions from Naga
geniuses
Siren
turn
well
to
at all
ban.
right now from their draft on VP. They don't have great ways to clear.
No, I mean, well, Alk, we've seen Alk before against. Was a bit against the Naga. Where he goes like the get the cleave talent, gets
Cleave,
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, and all that. We did see the
Like,
Alchemist end
he
up taking
can-
over the game.
Yeah, he can build.
Yeah.
It obviously takes a fair bit of time.
But the rest of them, right? Like Centaur, sure, like early on, we're understanding, yes. Early on, you have your nukes still to deal with them,
10
but once like the
seconds
Naga Siren
remaining.
starts getting some items built up, yeah, these mirror images look like they're going to cause 3 of these heroes big
5
problems.
seconds remaining.
So that last hero that we're assuming is going to be no one needs to be something that deals with these as well. So Ember Spirit's still in the pool if they want to go for something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised to see an Ember ban from EG here.
Evil geniuses
Zeus maybe.
turn
They're still
pro.
going to just take out the lead of the easy combo. Holy Spirit.
Ooh,
And they're taking their
Maelstrom.
storm. So now,
That's the way you want to wake up.
so now Ember's not as good. The lane becomes a little bit rougher.
Sure.
Quite a bit rougher. Zeus also not a pickable hero.
No,
I didn't think
you
it really
don't
was
wanna play
anyway.
Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus not very good anyway. So now they need something that's okay versus the Storm Siren and can deal with Naga Siren. Do they want something like a DK? It's not great versus
10
Naga, gives them more
seconds
catch. I just
5
still feel like they need more for the
seconds
illusion.
Naga definitely seems to be a. He gets something solid to. And I mean, what you think there's just no way you can play Ember? You don't think he'll want to because of the storm?
I mean, you can. It's a lot harder. The lane is
Yeah.
not as good as it was, and so hit you, and then you're giving Storm a really good lane. Catch is pretty limited though, right, on EG? That's the other thing that I was looking at. Their disables are not the greatest. They're no like instant stuns. They have an
No,
ET
it's-
stomp, they have a Pango rolling thunder, they have an ensnare.
It's going to be very tricky to
Yeah.
catch this storm. Samel has got very nice lineup to run again. But
I mean, EG's the...
I was saying the other way around as well.
Oh, I mean,
Storm.
VP's... The Bramble is a little annoying. Brambles can be a bit annoying, but yeah, besides that, they've a little bit better. I'd say EG has more limited
But
lockdown
a lot of
in
it's
comparison.
telegraph, right? It's a concoction, it's a hoof stomp. You're not going to get caught out by those as a storm.
You might
It's
get
long
caught by-
animations.
Centaur can. Centaur definitely. Willow Brambles are annoying. But yeah, the Alchemist one... Taking their time. They're probably discussing, like, alright, I think it has to be them discussing about that Naga Siren. It's what the hero's
How are they
be.
gonna deal with it? Yeah, a tough call for VP.
Queen.
Queen of
May
Pain.
now select
So they're
Okay.
focusing more on the lane aspect.
Okay, and it is that burst that we looked for, to help deal with heroes like the Ench as well. But definitely sort of that AoE damage that is going to fall off.
The thing is, though, like I was mentioning, EG's catch. How do they catch a Queen of Pain? They haven't, like, Ensnare, Pango, like, these abilities.
All right, yeah.
Vortex is their
Okay.
best type of catch in order to go for this quap. So I think that's what VP was looking at. Just like we were saying, Ember probably not having the most catch, but this is just a good matchup now. Now they have no one in a good matchup versus Sumail rather than putting him in a negative match. Okay. The Illusion still could get to a point, if he gets a lot of farm on Arteezy, there will be some problems to
Well,
clear
that's
them,
the
but
thing. It definitely feels like a lineup where if it goes on, you're going to have this. Sure, VP's going to have the Alk, which is going to be brilliant, but EG is going to have these 3 super scaling cores that are going to love life later on.
Yeah.
I mean, this Naga, Storm, and Ench. That's going to be terrifying for some of these more vulnerable core heroes like the No One Quap and
maybe
Pasha
we're
Centaur.
gonna have to see no one go for a little bit of a variety build. Maybe he still goes for like Tread's Orchid, but maybe he starts going like BKB Maelstrom, Mjolnir, and just goes for some extra right clicks and stuff like
He
that on the
might
Queen of
have
Pain,
to.
just to solve the solution of the Naga Siren.
Because if Artor's able to get sort of that 30-minute heart, these
Yeah.
illusions are not going to be easy for VP to deal with.
But definitely not. Queen of Pain. I don't think we haven't gotten a Queen of Pain
We've
game
not,
ever.
we've not seen a comp in any of our games. Not to say that there hasn't been a comp in the group stage. There's been so much Dota 2 going on. I'm sure there's been some quad picks.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. Yeah. I saw Armel being one of them too. I saw a good amount of Team Hero.
Well, here we go, ladies and
Let's
gentlemen. VP versus EG. Let's have a look and see if EG can continue to get themselves back on the up, or VP. They need to win this game. It is in danger territory for VP down towards the bottom of the board. There are scenarios where if they go on to lose all their games and IP go on to win all theirs, VP themselves could be in that danger zone.
So pressure lane from VP. This is one that can work pretty well versus the Nugs. Not got very high armor, but this lane is scary. It's a lot of magic damage coming in from them as well because of the Willow. Around it with that mirror. How well RTZ does in the top quite a bit here, as well as down bottom. The opposing back, of course. For Ramses Alchemist, who can deal with a lot of pressure that's going to be coming out from S4 yelling at Enchantress.
30 seconds to
But we'll
battle.
probably see also the stack, right? Stack gaming is probably going to come out from solo this game. So they're assuming that Enchantress, S4, as well as Crit will put a lot of pressure onto Ramses down.
They should be, he should be able to come back from off lane very easily.
As long as he doesn't step up too far and get pressure too much, like they have to try to like keep pulling and keep the lane near the tower, because if he steps up too far from his tower as an Alchemist versus an Enchantress and a Pango lane, we've seen what they do. They enchant you, they keep your Orb of Venom slowed constantly,
The
and they
battle
chase you out.
begins.
It's tough.
So EG, they'll be able to get three.
Greevil's Greed.
Nice start, and Samael's going to be happy.
Yep. Offensive wards coming out from the side of VP. Watching out for those rotations in particular. Crit, watching out for the moves from him, and of course that mid ward to be able to allow you to get those extra right clicks as the Queen of onto Sumail. Not really getting the best block here at all. This is a pretty bad block here for Sumail.
Prime position for Nolan, just outside of the tower range and on his high ground.
Yeah. The last hit though.
Oh, CS.
Trip.
Oh, he messed it up. No
Sumail
one.
pulled the aggro of the melee creeps there, so when no one hits it, the melee creeps didn't hit it.
Play there from Samael.
Denied.
Get his own, should be able to easily with the burst. Oh no, he
He
didn't.
missed the remnant.
Oh, right, it's early morning.
It's the morning in the
very
mid lane.
early here in Shanghai.
Both mid laners
They're just waking up.
missing theirs.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the other lanes. We'll give them some time to have their breakfast.
Yeah. Roger. We'll take a beating. Fly. Do a lot here as a Elder Titan. We've just been. Man, I love seeing this Tiro. In the safe lane, still pretty exciting. You're always just having this 55 bonus damage plus that 5 armor, so you can just trade hits with everybody quite easily. So RTZ looks like he's pretty okay up here to secure the farm.
Yeah, I think
As they brought a lot of regen as well on this.
Yeah, like 300%. The dual lane should be able to secure a very strong safe lane for EG. Bottom lane, see how much Ramses can get against the pressure. Right here with the maze, but flies even crazy. Able to easily duke it. Be caught out by that.
Score. 4 tower hits under Acid Spray.
Ramsey calling quite alright. Yeah. No problems at all in these early levels. We'll
You can see that what I was talking about, how they want to keep the lane near the tower. You see what Crit is doing. He's actually making sure to just keep blocking it, that pull camp, so they can't reset it, keep resetting the position of the lane. The harassment from Ramses, if he's too far forward, does start to build up. Ramses will pick up a chainmail, so he can soak some of that damage coming. Pasha does connect. They have the Sam stun too.
They put the Cursed Crown onto Fly. He had to chase him. Have they got the damage? The Bramble Maze to follow up. That's your first blood. VP. Having the combo plays as the heroes hit 2.
That pressure lane we were talking about, right? The heavy amount of control that comes out between them two, and that's also what we've been seeing a lot of Willow players do. Is you don't just get the Shadow Realm, you just get the extra control. Chase down. Your Centaur in particular will provide your damage, or your Ogre that we saw in a couple other of those duels. So he's not really getting the most last hits, but they're pretty pressure on.
The pressure onto Ramses on the other half of the map.
He stepped up a bit far here. A little far from his tower there, but builds it back up.
Time where Smells having to hide in the trees. Poison to wear off so he can get the south going. The space for no one.
They picked the Queen of Pain because they wanted the lane dominator. Lane dominator and the position on EG. Camille will go for a pull, some harassment onto no one to secure himself that right tree.
He's going to be able to head down and get himself a DD, which is going to help even more in this 1v1.
That's gonna be super nice. That's I mean, I feel like I see VP warding the river like this is just because Telltale what happened versus VP yesterday versus Thompson. Was him able to get all of those different corpses.
Some of them. Now going to have a fight on one another. RTZ doing his best with the illusions to try and block up Pasha. The Who Stomp Pasha will be able to still walk his way back to safety.
Sumail got forced to TP to base. No one showed back up in the lane, and Sumail was on the high ground. He actually just immediately had the TP. They even actually, they aggressively glyphed the wave on Sumail's remnants to make him miss a couple last hits too. I'm sure that was no one. So yeah, Sumail, give me a couple more last and then fired. And yeah, I mean, Sumail's going to be really shut down because of this
He's
swap.
going to have to take some time in the jungle to come back eventually.
Yep.
Yeah, this matchup, as you say, you know, VP, they got the final pick. They certainly made the magic happen with it in terms of making sure that no one has this favorable matchup mid. He's making the most of it. 20-9 against Sumail's 8 for 7.
And we see in the meantime also, like we were mentioning, you know, we're going to see the Shadow Demon running around making stacks. Solo's already started. He has like a couple stacks inside of Ramsey's still farming just and simply with Arteezy in the top lane. The carries. They've got
Farm between two of them. This bottom lane will get a little more scary once gets that sticks. Yeah. Point where we imagine to see Ramsey's just looking to farm elsewhere.
Yep, he gets his phase boots, his double bracers, just goes to the jungle. It actually looks like he's actually already starting to back up for that jungle here.
Gonna see no one. Across the ring. Choose the swashbuckle aggressively, so no one inside can stand the ground, start to hit, and the sticks will be popped. VP will be able to pick up the rune in front of him. And now chase down Crit. Crit's maybe going to try and get himself denied. It's not going to be able to do so. No one gets the kill on Crit, as well as taking the bounty runes away from EG.
He actually moved bottom for the bounty runes and bought his bottle from the secret shop, so he's able to bottle up the bounty rune, also bottle up the second one too, and now they're going to shrine up with the 2 cores and continue that pressure on his. Sumail is just going to be the jungles, who also had some stacks for himself. He'll catch back up pretty quick.
All important to at least make sure he gets the 6 before he returns to lane if he wants to do so.
Oh,
Right.
Roger.
It was a good job that shrine was available.
Sumail doesn't want to commit forward here. He had his nulls backpacked. Try for anything
Yeah,
there
a
onto
bit of a
Roger.
tricky play to make his own at this stage.
Yeah, he's got the Shadow Realm and everything. He's not killed him. Gonna go for it. So that bottom lane has been abandoned now a bit here by VP. They're just gonna hordes to soak versus S4 as Crit will just run around chasing Ramsey. Clear out these stacks as Crit will actually put down some vision to those taps too. I'm able to snap some of these.
The start where biggest offset was that mid, but as you can see,
Totally caught back up.
the nature of the storm.
And-
Which obviously is sort of maybe a worrying factor. You pick this hero to have this edge in the mid, sure. The first 5 minutes you had that lead, but Storm's always going to catch back up.
Yeah, and no one also went for the 3 points in the Shadow Strike, so purely
yeah.
lane pressure build. So now making moves around the map is a little bit harder without that high level of screen.
Top lane, attempt onto Arteezy. Arteezy hasn't got any backup around him right now, so they'll be able to get him right under the tower. Beating him down, now the TP comes in, the Shadow Realm hit, not quite enough. Arteezy into the trees, gets the Salve ready, and he'll survive. He doesn't need any support help.
Every little thing mattering, right? He has double Wraith Band as well as a Band of Elven-Skin, so all that extra armor being provided there allows him to survive versus all that.
Bottom lane, here's the pressure. Now the 6 has been hit on S4. He can get in with the impetuses onto Ramsey's. Ramsey's now hit 6, so he's got the Chemical Rage regeneration. Still,
Sumail jumping far.
does go for a big
He has
ball
a
zip.
regen.
He's looking to play around with Solo. Regen rune has ended. Won't be able to play on for the kill, and Ramsey still with that Chemical Rage. A little too hard and a little too beefy for S4 to take down. At the least, we'll force him away, and of course, once there's that 30 seconds without the Chemical Rage, Ramsey's will have to stay away from that bottom lane.
As you know, and he's focusing a little bit here on just staying in the mid lane because of that max Shadow Strike build for now. We can't see him TP soon to make a rotation, but he has that on cooldown for 40. Sumail burned his whole mana
tower is under
going to that
attack.
setup there. A little bit. And as we know and love, Nagsard is only like 9 last hits or 10 last hits behind that Alchemist, but as soon as we bring up that net worth, you're really starting to see that disparity. 13. Oh, yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Forward here. Another Roger to look for Fly. They should be able to get this unless Smail can get the deny. He's not going to get the chance. You know, blows the Sonic Wave. Smail dips forward, tries to go for the counter play. Vortex drag back, they're going to get it. They'll take that trade, EG. And maybe look to see if they can find more. S4 still with some mana to play with, but the Shadow Realm TP out will get the Willow back to base. Although that is a kill onto no one as Smail's sort of return and come back from a tough laning stage in that unfavorable matchup news. And he is happy getting involved and taking down the Quap.
Yep, Fly even TP's mid, refills Sumail's bottle so that he can farm going from 2. Costly death there.
We'll see what sort of plays he is able to make. As you say, with the skill build, he's sort of stuck in this lane.
Yeah, just for a bit here. He's starting to get a couple more points when he's got like the 3 points, and then I mean he can still make moves around with 2 points. It's just not as good, not as nice. And we still see Solo continue to do all those stacks as we step aside. Ramses.
Sport. I mean, he can feel pretty free to do this. He shouldn't be under any sort of pressure as a level 7 edge. He's not really the best, unless we see a rotation from no one. And even then, he's going to have the Sonic Wave if they want to have a shot at killing S4.
Yeah, they're going to actually have like a stun as well. Because if he just gets the heal up, even with the Sonic Wave, it's pretty unlikely that S4 dies.
S4, division information onto Roger. By the chance for Samael to zip in, get a bit of the glory. And he goes, S4 says that's still my kill though. Oh, there's Samael getting mobile on the map, getting involved in these little skirmishes.
Yeah, they're really trying to keep the pressure down on this bottom side. VP, they have full coverage and full wards down here to be able to watch when EG does make them record this top side. So I assume Ramses just wanting to be just farming his triangle though.
This is a high level dagger and that's going to get the kill.
It does take him out.
The plus there of having that 3rd point in it. The lane as a support, you got to be careful. Giving up a kill to the Quap. You know what? The Sonic Wave ready to pop again in 10 seconds. It's going to go for that Orchid build.
Yep. Treads into Orchid for sure when he's versus the Storm as well. He wants to be able to get scales to it. Also, it's just good because it gives you attack speed too if he does want to go for it.
Yeah, and maybe with the Orchid in the burst, they have the chance of killing us as well.
Yeah. That's a ways away if he gets it.
Fair bit of time. VP setting up around the mid. Solo and Ramses here. EG shove the wave in. S4 trying to heal the wave back up.
Trying to.
It's already going to get nuked down by the poison.
Set up in the area, Crit as well as Fly. Crit and Fly are both level 6 to it. Crit has a javelin, so he does have impact a punch. As they're making sure to keep this catapult alive, they really want to try to take out this mid tower here. Try to get that map control versus the Alchemist.
Solo not quite able to kill off the Siege Creep with the Shadow Poison. They'll pop the fortification. VP no one moving back into position. They will be able to force EG back for now.
All of VP started surrounding themselves around that mid tower. As we know, defense of the mid tower. Immediately, they smoke up EG. They're looking to try to catch something around the triangle. They have no vision here either, so I think this is more of like a warding expedition first, and then hoping that they maybe find something out. Fly, he's leading the charge. He's gonna get that ward down. They're gonna see the courier. Oh, they can wait for it to pick up the relic and then heal it. Oh, it didn't pick up the relic.
Oh, that would have been the value play.
That would have been the value
play.
play.
Waiting for the relic to get picked up. Still, a courier dead is a courier dead. And does mean that it'll be a little trickier at least for Ramses to be able to make his way over, especially with that ward coverage. They will see him go towards a secret shop to get the relic, so might still be able to cause issues with him when it comes to buying it. Or is it not? That had the relic on it.
That would have been, yeah,
that would have been. But not the case. Ramsey still with the money. 4,800 gold.
They're probably expecting some ward vision up on that left side now too, because EG made that run around there to go secure that triangle versus that Alchemist. Roger's going to be going for that Vessel versus the EG lineup, versus that Enchantress in particular. Who's going to be going for the Vessel on the side of EG? Most likely do want one if we get picked up for that Alchemist. Don't be scooted up just yet.
Set up into mid. They have a bit of chemical rage on. Certainly, yeah, with the javelin on Crit, they cut down Ramses. Crit rolling thunder through. He's ready to try and set up for more. Samael's low on the mana, so he can't really follow this up.
Ooh, he just demonic burst the illusions.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, it's early morning. It's early morning.
He wasn't in position to, he wasn't actually behind the Alchemist too. If Solo was actually in position there too, he can just get the disruption and maybe look to save him there, but likely not.
Hello. Whoa, no one. It's got to be careful. Center, maybe Arteezy's the one that needs to be careful. They get the fear back. Turns towards him. Go to sleep and back off. Curse Crown does
Radiant's
hit
middle tower is under
the
attack.
chase. No one has to be careful there. You saw the damage as the illusions cut around that tree line.
He almost died just to the Naga Siren. That was
Didn't have
very
those.
scary.
If you didn't have those stick jumps. Very scary.
Yep, we see VP now. They originally had all their wards on the right side. Now, as we said, they're prioritizing that triangle area for
Radiant's
Ramses,
middle
who pretty much
tower
has
is
the
under
Radiance now
attack.
finished up after his last few camp. He's off to a good start, but Arteezy, the 3 corners of EG as well, looking real hot here. Arteezy getting all the space in the world from his team. We were kind of talking about that in the draft, right? We were hoping to see Arteezy kind of jungle, and then Ramsey's going to jungle, and the 4 versus 4 ensuing constantly. And I thought, look at it. EG's draft, fighting the 4v4s, is really strong. They've got the
Radiant's
Storm
middle
Spirit,
tower
ET, the
is under
Pango, in
attack.
particular that ET Pango, really strong for the team fight, and then S4 super tanky for the front
Radiant's
line.
middle tower
Well,
has fallen.
they're going to take a little bit more time to be able to set up for that. They have the Willow damage, they have the Centaur damage, but pretty limited when they don't have...
As always. Or is that warring position, you know, if you're the outline up and
No money for you.
not have that net worth advantage.
Yeah. And you're losing, if you start to lose map control also, that's one of the biggest things. They've already lost 2 of their towers, so getting bounty runes starts to become a little bit more difficult, and you really want to keep that map control with Alchemist for bounties. They're already starting to make the rotation up top to set up for 2 bounty runes, and Arteezy is going to go bottom to set up for those. So they want to fight up here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Strong with their team.
See if they can get over aggressively. We are seeing Pasha start to poke his head around. Well,
They only want to give... It looks like they only want to give you try to secure the
Michael Roger does force out the Shadow Realm. EG will secure the 3 bounty runes. VP
Dire's
only able to
middle
get a
tower
looking on
is
1.
under attack.
Put Arteezy very close to the Manta Cell. Obviously that Manta coming out well, way before any sort of Orchid's out for no one. So
Yeah.
Arteezy with the Manta is going to feel pretty invincible heading around the map and farming wherever he wishes.
He's already starting like really tanky, right? He's already at, I mean, not very tanky, but he's 1500 HP when he does strength when he gets the Manta. He's gonna be like 1800, 2000 HP. Like we were saying, they don't have damage to deal with illusions very well on the side of VP. Definitely feeling a bit concerned for them in that aspect. They still do have this very farmed Alchemist. Really at that same point as Pasha.
The VP, as we said in the draft, they're always going to struggle with the scaling potential of the 3 EG cores, and all 3 EG cores are in prime position in terms of where they want to be in farm. Top lane, Whostomp's not going to be there in time. Pasha's Prince able to roll past the entirety of VP pretty much. TP's out, and that's 4 heroes there. But won't get any looking on a kill. They will be able to take the tier 1 tower.
He was just there to delay it, and he delayed a decent amount too. He knocked the whole creep wave back for a while. They have the blip as well, so they delayed that push a decent amount for each.
Lane, a bit of pressure being put onto the tier 2 tower bottom as Arteezy cuts the creep wave. People come in from so to get those creeps off it, but the pressure from EG is certainly building up very early.
Yeah, and they've got deep vision now too. I just saw Fly do a dive past the tier 2 tower bottom and puts 2 deep wards down. Arteezy's getting aggressive.
He'll have some solo action.
Solo's dead.
Radiant's bottom
This game
Dire are
getting a
scanning.
little rocky for VP.
They've got their blink now on Pasha. They're going to have to make some big plays happen with it though. It's only a 1k disadvantage, but
Radiant's
They have the out.
tower
big
is under
problem. Yeah,
attack.
the Nagastar is a big problem.
And they're behind. It's not great. But sure, Ramses himself, he's still doing fine with the other 2 cores. Shouldn't not having that much of an impact. We'll find Fly in the river. Ramses, Culture's out. Fly, caught out. Be able to get the stomp off. Really get the kill. It's about 5 to 5 back. Easy want to fight this. Samel, he's going to ditch that found Ramses straight away. They're on top of the Alchemist. The Alchemist is out of grip. Onto the high ground. Sets up for a second. Samel zips in. They'll find both. Double kill for Samel. As soon as VP finds some support action, Samel strikes back hard and gets the bigger trade for EG.
Yeah, they take out Ramses in a matter of seconds. Like, he just dies so quickly to all this damage that's coming out. EG just have, like we said, they have so much damage to deal with this Alchemist. VP, they don't have the damage really to deal with the Nagastar. As Arteezy immediately after that kill, he goes back to his home. He goes back to the bottom side of the map and can farm VP's jungle.
Once he has the diffusal blade, he's going to be killing most of these heroes on the map. Sure, you know, if Ramses gets the Chemical Rage off before, it will be a little trickier, but the rest of them, especially Noan, he's got to be careful. He gets caught out by a net and surrounded by the illusions burning his mana. He's not going to have the chance to get out of it.
Still no Orchid finished. He's got the second Oblivion Staff when he wants to get up. He hits level 12 now too for that level 2 Sonic Wave, so maybe they're going to try to make a move with that one there.
They have to.
They have to trap on their side of the map.
The momentum and the pace that EG's playing at, it's only going to favor EG. Yep. VP's got to try and make some sort of a play, find some sort of a pick-off onto one of these EG's cores. Otherwise, this game is just going to get infinitely harder
Radiant's
for
bottom
VP.
tower
Dream rune for Stumel, who's completely out of mana, finds himself a regen rune to build a farm at maximum efficiency. Looks like for smoke play as well here, looking to keep the pressure on. I mean, they're probably feeling super confident
Why not?
right now.
They know that at this point of the game, their lineup plays very well.
Yeah. And they're keeping the pressure on. That's the big thing too, is like even if they do make an aggressive play, VP, they can't transition into anything here. They got the top tier 1 tower, but mid tier 1 is still pretty healthy, bottom as well. Definitely lacking a lot on that map control right. And it's going to just be a straight BKB build as well by Sumail this game. No funny business. He doesn't want to get caught by any type of bramble. He doesn't gonna have to worry about that orchid that's going to be coming out inevitably from Papain. Could go for something like a Eul's, but this is just, he doesn't care. Because if he gets Eul's, they drop a bramble under it.
Well, that's the thing. The Eul's is definitely a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to trying to save yourself. It can set up for the enemy to come in after. BKB, it's going to allow him to go ham. Sumail knows that at this point, she's at their strength and they can actually fight some wild. What's not easy, he's farming. Down bottom, zipping in a zip out. There's the net. He's rolling forward. He'll be able to get the connection with the rolling thunder. Passion tries to jump in. The song's going to be used. They're going to look to disengage. For now, EG, they will start to back away. VP's going to look to chase. Stampy's pop. Roger is getting melted. He'll be able to pop the fear up at Sumail. He'll zip in. Shadow Realm allows him to dupe the hit from Sumail. Roger will stay alive for now. He's backing away. The stomp comes down from Pasha on the backline. Sonic Wave's there. Burst them down low. Doesn't quite get any of the kills. Now EG, they'll turn. Look to Pasha with the impetus. Now over to Ramsey. Ramsey's having to hide in the trees. No one jumping in with the screen. Can he get the kill time fly? The stomp. Doesn't matter. Roger gets the Shadow Realm hit. Will get the kill, but EG, they're found two. And RTZ's into the trees, hunting for Ramses. At the same time, Sumail playing around with no one on the sideline. Sumail is low on mana. The backup there from Crit comes in with a swashbuckle. Sumail will be saved, and no one will be taken out. As EG find 4 and only lose Fly.
That was a really nice disengage there by EG. It actually looks pretty scary for them for a second there. RTZ had 0 mana as he was disengaging and backing up. I believe he may have gotten bottled up by the Stone Battle or something like that, because he was very low on health. He was able to reset, and they just made VP chase a little bit too far.
We've not seen any EG, but that sort of execution and team fight from EG, that looked top tier. There was no question about it. EG made the calls and the moves absolutely perfectly to get the most out of that situation. And I think that could even be a bad fight too far for VP, because now, after that, RTZ has the Diffusal Blade. Sumail's got the BKB. If you're not winning that fight, I don't know what sort of fight you are winning if you're VP. You have to pull off some drastic measures here. Get some sort of a pick-off, because in terms of the head-to-head 5-5, you're not coming out on top.
They've got the Orchid right now on the Queen of Pain. Right now, they're looking to try to hunt onto Sumail before the BKB comes out. They might be able to actually catch him.
It's on the courier. It's on the courier. Yeah. It's on the courier. The courier. Is he going to get there? He needs to. There it is. It's there. Delivered just in time. And now allowed to turn. BKB's popped. Oh, nice. He zips into melee range of Passion. It's early morning. It's
Sumail.
early morning. Sumail.
He was alive for sure.
Now that's a question mark and a half.
He turned, and I think he just got retaliated.
He just zipped
right?
in next to him, and Passion just smacked him in the face.
Okay, well the gank ends up
It was
actually
nearly
working.
brilliant. You know, he gets the BKB, he survives, and then he zips back in and dies. No, don't show it again. Oh no.
Look at the courier
Radiant
flying in.
scanning.
He's gets
Like,
it.
he's fine.
He's fine. Gets
Sumail is
BKB.
more than fine.
Zips
Zips out, but then he zips back in. He
Pasha
gets
just like,
greedy, and Pasha just smacks
"Thank
him in
you."
the face. Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower
Well,
is
nonetheless,
under attack.
EG's still in a very, very good position.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sumail, he knows that, so he won't be feeling too hard done by that mess up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they still have RTZ in such a comfortable spot. He's also even queued up a BKB as well. Just if he wants to go for that, something like that. He also has the butterfly too, which you can go for anyway. But yeah, they're in a super comfortable spot here as both Pasha and No One. Look, their net worths, they're actually pretty much at the same position here as Crit on that Pango. And EG, they're just still running at them, keeping them on this side of the map.
Oh, Mansa. Silence on RTZ. He's going to be able to get the net. Stampy's pops as well as the fit. He jumps in with all the lockdown on one. RTZ in trouble. They get the kill. Artor again. Just coming in with the rolling thunder. It's EG wants to return it to Mount. Pops the BKB. Zips in. Nukes down one. Now we'll turn for another. Pasha will be taken out as well. They did manage to deny Ramses, but everybody else still dies.
Unstoppable!
I guess that was the new. Wait, how did they deny? It's early morning. Explain. Was it neutrals? Right.
Had
There's no deniable damage.
No, I
right?
would say visible by neutrals.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Come on, Fog, get your brain working. How did Ramses get that? No damage over. There's no deniable.
Fusion.
Let's have a look. I'm sure we're being idiots. How did Ramses get denied? Was it the SD illusions? Is there something with? Oh, concoction.
Oh, good call.
Concoction. That's
There
the
you
answer.
go.
There we go.
I was like,
There we go.
I was like,
Concoction.
am I dumb?
Concoction.
So I denied himself. That's why
Yes.
it makes sense. Yeah. Early morning.
Yeah. Not something you see all the time.
No.
With a concoction. No. It's very hard to pull off. Never intentional. At least was able to take away a bit of that golden bonus for EG. Obviously, EG though still
They're in such
taking the favourable swing.
Yep.
They got the kills around him.
such a good position for them too, because every single time they're making all these aggressive plays, it's just super deep onto VP's map. So even if VP, which they're not winning these fights at all, if they were, they're still not in a good position to push outwards. So EG just keeps bringing the battle to them, and VP is starting to get just very far behind. Alchemist, as we say, of course, still at the top of that network,
Yeah,
but we're
but
just starting to
he's
see
not-
him just get melted.
And he's not the top. Like,
No.
it's 23 minutes in. There's only a 2k difference between him and Arteezy.
Are scanning.
It should be more if you're having a great game as Nauk. Obviously, it's hard because Arteezy's just having such a fantastic time as the Nauk designer of this game. He's put the space in the world on the map.
And it's hard when they have so much damage coming out from EG. They have not only just magical and physical, but they have that pure that of course comes out from the Enchantress that just pierces right through Alchemist, who has an AC early on. That's the thing. He went for the AC to make sure he's not countered by the natural order or anything like that. So he gets that flat bonus armor, but too many different damage sources from
Are
EG.
fortified.
T1 tower, look at this wrap here.
Radiant's top tower
To the-
is under attack. Dire's middle tower
More it's
is
down.
under
They're going
attack.
very deep. You know, the EG is pushing on this top
Radiant's
lane.
top
But
tower has
some of
fallen.
that information, Arteezy, sort of a low mid, but not a kill to go for with the man to dodge capabilities in the song.
And he's never using, it doesn't look like he's using the Mansion of Farm pretty much at all. He's
Radiant's
just
top
carrying
tower
every
is
single
under
time.
attack.
And he still has the BKB queued. As we saw in that last fight, he still can't get burst down his individual hero by all that magic damage that they can have.
Yeah, once BKB and Manta, they can start walking down lanes, finishing up the tier 2s.
Take every,
Towards the base.
just take every single fight pretty much. I don't feel like VP's fight is nearly as strong as VP is, even without the BKB.
He's just on the storm, Samael.
It's our bounty running. One right now. Long zip forward. Solo. Goodbye.
Goodbye indeed. Samael has the opportunity with that wall vision that they have. Killer Samael,
Radiant's
Storm
top
game.
tower is under attack.
Used to look like a lot better than the old No One Quaff. He's struggling this match.
He really is. The Tricore of EG.
Not really had an impact.
Tricore of EG farming super well. Crit also pretty much a Corrin. They're actually setting up with the
They
Salt
are.
Ramses.
They're ready to
He
dive in.
has BKB though. I think they just saw it.
I think they
and
did. They're like, let's
never
go.
mind.
Oh, BK, get out. Abort.
Just kidding.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Level 18 song though, so only that 70 seconds.
KB Ramses himself. So likewise as Arteezy Naga go where he wants.
Yeah. The
Not
biggest
really any threat for him.
The big thing too is, we look at that 7k gold lead, and if it's not always the biggest thing, even though, Diversity Alchemist, which is excellent, I saw we brought up, of course, that experience. That's one of the big ones, is you look at No One's level 14. If you look at these hero levels, it's a level 14 Queen of Pain, it's a level 16 Pangolier. Crit is 2 levels over 2 of the cores on the side of VP right now.
Samael again. He's looking for the big bull zip. He uses all his mana for it. Can he get one right click to slow down Solo? He's chasing him. Pole charges there. Solo has no escape. Gets caught out once again. Somewhere on the map. Solo's no one. There is always a threat with this defusal and that Eagle song. This Naga Siren punches hard.
Yeah, instead of the BKB, not
Yeah, he's
feeling
just
like
ready
he
to
needs it.
hit.
Yeah, he
I mean, because he knows that he can get these kills. No one is. He's just a free kill on the map.
Yeah.
Anytime that no one messes up with the Blink, because he's only got the Orchid, there's no defensive capabilities. He needs that BKB. It's going to take him a lot of time to get there. He's only 2k into the purchase.
Yeah, it really is feeling extremely difficult for these fights. They only have that Arc. Everybody else is just super underfarmed in comparison. EG's frontline is just... The killing these heroes is super difficult. As we see,
all 3 cores are a huge nightmare for VP to deal with.
Yeah.
This really was the problem that we were worried about from the draft. S4, Ench, Sumail, Quap, RTZ, Nagasiren. Good luck. Who are you going to kill? You had to Quap. Sumail Storm.
Yeah, I mean, Sumail, he had some time where he could have died, as we saw, but he got such an early BKB. He's 9-1 and 5. So even though that early lane that he got pressured in, he was able to jungle, back up. Team put a lot of pressure on the map. Red and VP, as well as Ramses, they just kind of just been stuck on their side. They can't make any aggressive moves. EG just dictating the pace the entire time. Ramses will connect the stun. They got the Spirit Vessel as well onto S4.
They're going to try and burst for Sumail. He's going to look to go to the backline straight away with the silence. On to Solo. Off the Stampede, looks to hide in the trees. Sumail's on with the chase. They'll get the kill with the shield crash. Crit takes the second. RTZ, Zong set up, looking for more. The field will send back the 3 of them, keeping Ramsey safe. Buyback comes out from Pasha. If he actually get any of those kills in return, that's the question. Self-stone from Ramsey. Pasha in with the 3-man Hooston. They're on top of Sumail. Sumail will fall once, but he has the Aegis. They're ready to keep fighting. EG, the impetus is from S4. Take down a second. Ramsey is surrounded, trapped up by the net. Sumail tips in. Ramsey's out of HP, out of mana, and S4 cleaning up the glory. Triple kill for the Edge as this game just continues to look rougher and rougher for VP. No one will be able to blink away. Sumail looking for the chase.
No matter
Has he got enough mana to get the kill? Yes, he has. RTZ, his man up on the high ground. And it really is all over as EG, a beautiful start to the day for them, and VP, it looks like a good night's sleep didn't do anything for them as this lineup continues to look in absolute shambles.
Yeah, this was a rough one. Even from like the draft, we were looking like, oh god, this Nagasiren pick was really strong. They don't have great ways to deal with it, and EG, they put the pressure on. With this Elder Titan, with this Pango, with this Enchantress and their Storm, these 4 were just running around making plays, and VP, their 4 cannot match that aggression.
Not at all. It looked like a great draft from EG. Yeah. As I said, I haven't got to see any of the EG games, but from this performance and from that draft, EG, they look pretty damn good.
Yeah, definitely looked real sharp in the way that they secured the map control really quickly, right? They prioritized, they took out that bottom tower super early, they took out the mid tower, and then they knew Ramses was only farming one side, while Arteezy was farming the whole VP jungle. Sumail was farming their whole jungle as well, so they were out economy while also out pressuring VP.
We'll have to see how VP can step it up in game 2 as they're on the line, right? They're right at the bottom. If they continue to lose games and NIP, the team currently below them, continue to win games, they could get messy for VP. They could be going home.
They really got to step it up.
They really do. This game was not really close at all. There was never really any chance for VP to get into it. EG, solid draft, solid play all around, and great calls, great communication. So we'll see. Game 1 goes the way of EG, no questions asked. We'll see if in game 2 things are going to turn around, if EG can continue to look pretty hot. We'll see you so soon in game. Don't go anywhere.
NIP's turn to ban. Infamous turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. NIP's turn to ban. NIP's turn to pick.
Witch Doctor.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIP's turn to pick.
Shadow Demon.
Beasting. Everyone is now... Nobody thinks that Hector is an unknown anymore. Everyone knows how good Hector is. Chris Luck has definitely made a name for himself here too.
Yeah.
But Schofield, as a 4, his Tiny has been just a treat to watch.
Dude, you gotta stop giving him Tiny, honestly.
You have to stop giving him Tiny, but
we'll see.
Who knows?
Nip are facing up against a very similar lineup so far. No Broodmother, but they know the Tiny Leshrac. They saw what happened last laning phase. I'm sure they talked about some of the mistakes they made from like the whole defensive trial lane, all the pressure that 33 was under, perhaps panicking a little bit and trying to adjust their lanes, and as a result gave Whisper a strong lane while simultaneously not fixing 33's game.
So one interesting thing that Insania said when he was on the Summit Couch, I tried not to like get him to reveal too much because I just feel like that's a dick move.
Yeah,
like you're just handicapping him for doing a nice thing. But what he did say, because I wanted to know about like what happens after the game, because it's such an interesting concept, because every team that I've worked at has had a different concept of how to treat a loss or a win. And he was saying you try not to think about the individual mistakes, you just focus on the draft and like the bigger picture stuff.
Yeah,
because the small minute details, it's really easy to tilt yourself and get bogged down into. That's how you end up blaming
if you
one
hadn't missed
player.
that Burrow strike,
yes,
we would have won that fight, and you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But all that does really is make one person feel bad.
Yeah.
Because they, you know, if you're playing at this level, you're not an idiot. You know when you messed up. Oh man, they're just okay.
Yeah, fourth pick Brood instead of third pick. I was saying there's no Broodmother. Well, there was.
It's a very good Brood game. It's great against Rubik. Witch Doctor Stun is garbage against it because there's just the sheer amount of babies that you have on the ground. Beastmaster is kind of mediocre too because you don't have a way to deal with the spiders. Wraith King is...
Well, you got access.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, but they're not... It's not fantastic. It's more because you get run at and you have to like flexibly get gone on, and the nature of how Brood plays, like flitting in and out of fights, makes it very hard to get roar off.
Okay.
The Hawk's okay. The Hawk's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But when is the Hawk bad? And then Wraith King is really mediocre. Very single target.
Okay, Ninjas in Pajamas. Oh, that was another thing that kind of annoyed me, because we talked about how they didn't really have. You said Ember's not really a counter to Broodmother, and I was like, yeah, and Tidehunter's not really that good at. Like traditionally, you go back several years, you would say, oh, Tidehunter's a counter to Broodmother. They're both side laners. You know, you would run them against each other, and Tide actually does quite well. But we've had this information. We as commentators have seen what's good against Broodmother and what's not. One of those heroes is right there, the Kunkka that was Banway. The other one is the Tiny, which Infamous have. Ninjas in Pajamas have to show us something that can actually threaten the Broodmother, not just protect himself against spiders.
It's a good Storm game.
Oh, it's Meepo.
The old Meeps.
Old Meeps.
Meep. That is an ace Meepo, right?
Yep, and it's got a lot of AoE damage to deal with Phantom Lancer, to deal with spiders. I don't know if it's the hero that really threatens Broodmother, but we'll have to see.
We'll see. I don't actually know how Meepo does against PL. I'd imagine because PL, like, he has such a slow ramp-up time, maybe it's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it, though. NIP,
it's good.
They're going to go out on their own terms here.
Yep.
This is something that we've wanted to see from them, honestly. We've been waiting to see from them. To give us, like, some sort of flair, put a stamp on it and say, this is, like, our thing. They're going to run at you. They have a strong 5-man lineup. The one thing about this lineup that stands out to me, Cap, is even if the laning phase goes poorly, they can fight.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was something they really lacked in their other games. This is a fighting lineup. They have stuns, they have vision, they have disable. The only thing I'd say they lack is like that burst. That's going to come from Ace, which means that Ace has to have a good laning phase.
Yep. I do know Meepo's good versus Phantom, right? Because not only do you have the AoE damage, you have multiple ensnares, which Phantom Lancer really hates.
Yeah. You can't doppel walk out of the net.
You can't doppelganger out of the net, and then
he's really good against all the one positions.
Even if you dodge like the first net, like you have a general idea of where he's going with his doppelganger. You just throw 2 more nets in that area.
Let me say, by the way, I think that he's good against like all the carries, Void, Anti-Mage, all like the really janky ones that rely on like their gap close abilities.
Yeah. It's always just a question of whether or not your like first 15 minutes of the game are going to go well. And we'll have to see how that is against Broodmother.
Yeah, let's fire up NIP. Let's go. We're not biased at all, but we want your tournament life to continue so that you get into a dramatic situation where PPD has to fight his former team to get to TI. That'd be so hype. You know that there's no bad blood lost there. But this is what I want personally. This is what made me say it's looking spicy.
For lower bracket, or for elimination.
And for EG to get into upper and for NIP to get sent out of the tournament. Both of those situations.
Plus, it makes every single match of this group
worth
just not
Virtus Pros turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pros turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pros turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to
Lion.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
The undying waits.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Storm Spirit! Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to bat. Evil geniuses turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to pick. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Earth Spirit.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Now select your heroes.
I love this part!
Prepare for battle.
That's enough out of you!
15짜리 구매고기! 15억짜리 구매고기!
Thirty seconds to battle.
스캔 돌려야 돼요! 스캔 돌려야 된다고요!
The battle begins.
But yeah, no one should always be able to put the pressure onto Sumail. You know, seeing that Undying versus that Centaur. You see Pasha, he actually doesn't want to play the lane because of that. He's ragged. He can't actually lane versus this. And Solo will be the one to try to slow down RP. It's a Naga Siren versus Shap. So yeah, Crit actually makes a move toward mid early on here.
Tower is under attack.
No one. We'll spot him though with him above. run into crit here. And Roger actually saved money for boot. Got Thunderbird finishing up here, so he put a decent pressure onto crit. Maybe force him to actually just roll out. Self the boulder.
Both carries, you're going to be able to farm at a decent pace. Is one lane, would you say, trickier than the other for Ramses and Arteezy?
Here? No, not really. I think both of them should be able to get a good amount of farm.
Same except for the off-laners?
Yeah, probably. I think, maybe Pasha and Solo can put a little bit more pressure just because how strong Shadow Demon is. I've already seen Solo getting like 5 stacks here on Fly. So I think maybe Pasha should be able to get a little bit more out of it than S4. Like, they can't actually... Killing the Centaur, it's sure, it's not really gonna happen. Unless he drops too low.
Damn it!
I got the salves out, they'll be fine. Yeah. Just poor Tango salve himself. Top, Ramses. Got the rage skilled, so... back away. Mid lane matchup to favour the Storm, but it's very close. Sumail keeping up 11 for point. He's got the denies as well, Sumail, so pretty much even with what they're getting out of that middle lane.
Yeah, that's DD Rune coming to play that he got at the 2-minute mark. He's able to... No one's probably gonna get harassed here, just even by like some flak or something. Crit immediately ports mid too, maybe trying to set up for a kill.
I mean, if they get the home and missile set up, can go for it, but as it is, keeping himself behind the tower, no one quite behind it.
Very close. Look at they're dead even.
Dead even, 0-0. That's not 1k difference. Being hunted.
Run around. The gap on him. He doesn't have mana for TP. He does have a stick TP now. He's gonna be able to actually hold.
He will. He knew. He did the maths.
That one stick charge he got. He was at 58 mana. And the stick charge has enough. There. The math. Sure. So Arteezy now will be able to get some aviated pressure off himself. He'll be just fine versus Pasha to get that.
Mid lane. Kick back. He's going to turn and look towards Sumail. We'll be fine. Very fine as popped. No one does fall. Crit able to set up for that burst blood going the way of Sumail. Was close.
Was.
He had it. He was always going to be fine. It looked very close.
The nicest thing too is though they made no one even pop the mango. He popped the mango trying to get a second remnant down and getting the right click onto his Sumail. This is what we kind of said, right? You have to expect Crit Earth Spirit to make the movement on the mid lane when you have a gyrocopter. Those kills that are
be able to maybe make some more action happen as he's bound himself in his room that he's bottled up.
From Sumail's bottle.
I mean, if they kill no one again off the back of that invis, we've seen it before.
Roger's looking to try to set up for this kill as well for no one. He's actually smoked it.
At least get a ward down, but that ward's not going to tell him that Crit is invis by his side.
Crit, he's ready to kick him up.
Kickback's there. Missile's coming in. Roger's going to head over, trying to help out. Sumail's getting low. The roll forward, disabling. No one's still alive. Turns with the burst. No one trying to run away. The flag of the flag though. Sumail gets the kill. No one is dead again. Crit should fall in return. But that's a second kill onto the Storm in mid.
Crit knew he was dying and even throws a bottle charge up to Sumail there. He's like, wait, give you some life before I go down because this is your bottle.
Roger.
Missiles.
Rockets. No, he'll be fine. But this mid lane getting a little rough, but no one. 2 deaths back to back at Sumail easily taking over and farm because of that.
Yeah. Nice moves by Crit there. He's even still staying around the mid lane. But no one is like, nope, I'm not going back there versus Charo.
Time to hit the jungle.
Yeah, time to just jump. He does have the 3 points in the Overload though, not having the 2 points in Remnant that we do see players take the jungle a little bit faster. A little bit.
How the offlaner's doing. It's be pretty even ready for Pasha and S4. Gonna send them out for the lane, but that's a dead Pasha. Arteezy.
That was a solo.
That was a solo kill. He didn't even have, obviously doesn't have the net skill. He just dove the tower. Top lane, S4. Be able to juke up to the high ground with the Burrow Strike. Ramses will be there with the check. South. It's not going to save him. Still rolling on to Solo. Set up another kill for Sumail. Sure, both offlaners die, but this mid lane just continues to go more and more in EG's favor. Getting Sumail the dream start that he'd hoped.
Saw VP actually picking the mid lane too. They're like, oh, the catapult died, so my death's not so bad. But EG, they still continue the pressure.
As well.
They're gonna take the tower.
6 minutes in.
Nice stun. Going out on 2, but they still won't be able to secure that. Oh, the deny!
Oh, Sumail with the last hit. You know what? Try and hold back Crit. There is a missile going the way of no one, but he's got mana and he's got 6. Will be silenced. They won't chase up to the high ground. EG playing it safe. That's a very early timing to take that tier 1 tower away from VP.
Absolutely, especially when you're playing versus Storm Spirit, who wants to go back into the jungle still. He is level 6 now though, so he's a little bit safer, of course, to do those. The game's gonna be a lot harder for EG. Super early tier 1. You don't see that very often when you look at EG's tier 1. Not been touched. Those rotations just putting heavy emphasis on pressuring no one. And it removes the pressure away from Arteezy too, where he wasn't really getting pressured at all, but you see VP has to send heroes to the mid lane to try to help no one out. And that's just going to make both of those side lanes for a little bit better.
He has now got the 6, so
damage is coming. The Riptide might lose armor.
He does have to be careful, but he shouldn't at least solo die now with the Stampede.
He's about to have Vanguard also picked up here, but you mean the Riptide might lose armor, he's getting put negative every time.
Forward. Roger just walked into his death. Now the Stampede will be popped. But all it's going to do is allow Solo to walk himself away. Pasha still in the trees. He'll TP out.
Yeah, he'll just TP to the shrine. Walked in, huh? Caught out by Crit, doesn't expect the movement coming at EG. Out-rotating VP right now at the moment.
Well, they really are. None of these moves from VP looking to be very refined at all. They're sending themselves to their death, and Solo didn't expect that. Didn't expect them to be there. Sumail and Flo waiting on the high ground. Sumail now dominating. 8 minutes in as the mid-gyro.
And EG, again, just like the last game, they're already starting to put pressure on the towers.
And they're sending more down it. The VP, they're trying to fight. They just saw Sumail and Flo on the high ground. See if they can get themselves where they will be able to, but they've got to be careful down there. There's pretty much the majority of EG. As EG 9 minutes in, they're on the verge of taking another tier 1 tower and continuing to just take over the map away from VP.
Yeah, just like the last game, right? Getting those early tier 1s, making sure that their kills actually turn into something. They're not just flat kills. They make sure that they try to get some other things out of it. Really outmaneuvering VP right now. He's got to have some, they got to start making something happen. I mean, they use their Stampede. We're going to have to probably see no one get a little bit active on the map here. Ramses is going to be queuing up for what looks like to be that. He hasn't actually shown if it's the Radiance or that armlet. You have to imagine it's the Midas Radiance this game. Since he's playing versus Naga Siren.
No Stampede for 20 seconds.
Very dead.
No escape for him. Try and run. Sumail, mega kill streak. 5 kills now on the gyro.
He's super far up by himself as well. Not having any like information, no vision in the AG jungle or anything.
Both of those deaths are a bit of a wonder there for Pasha. The early solo kill that Arteezy was able to pull off on him. Positioning not too hot at all. G will be able to get 3 of the 4 bounty runes to hold that lead. Again, sort of a similar situation as last game. It really is just Ramses that's able to hold in at the moment with the farm that he's having. But elsewhere, the other lane's starting to fall behind the respective cores on EG's side.
I know, and he doesn't really want to make moves yet. He wasn't trying to get too high up before they'll start getting up. Early on.
There's the setup that make a play happen. Catch out Fly with the disruption to stop.
He's got Stampede available. Coldow's already being set up. Crit's in. He's got the silence.
There's a missile heading Pasha's way though, and with that it's going to tick him down very low. He should die to the missile. The nice.
Okay.
He's going to live. 40 HP. Will be fine. Crit's trying to chase and find it with the magnetize, but won't quite get the connection onto this Centaur. So Pasha will live this time.
Crit's out of stones now. Or he has 1 left, but they almost take out Pasha. As our team easy, just like last game. Bottom, his jungle is not his home. The enemy jungle is his home. He is trying to take away some of that farm and keep the pressure also. Team, they're going to just keep running around as plays as EG. S4 pretty much actually has a Blink Dagger already finished up very soon. Though Storm Spirit, no one. they're gonna have a lot more ways to set up for him than just crit when they do have that finished up at such an early time. They do have level 6 now on Roger.
Is under attack.
Is there one thing they can set up for kills?
Easy. Gets the illusions down. Roger.
Is under attack.
One with the mana leak with Pasha here as well. Artor will have to back.
Well, that's expected. Siren gonna have to do that as a life stealer.
Takes some time there. Ramsey to that time. So far, the minutes pass. They have been favouring the bottom. They do get the burst for S4. Set up here. No one zips in themselves to kill. No one's starting to mobilize himself across the map.
I think he has to in this game. He has to be the one to make plays around the map. When Pasha's going for Vanguard, they have the Midas Lifestealer. He has to be the one to be a little bit more of that sacrificial lamb that we see like Thompson does a lot of times for.
The Ramsey's
Yeah, exactly.
It's their way to deal with the cause of EG.
Cores of EG, Sumail, we see now.
Dire's top tower
ED
is
going
under
for that
attack.
rush, the build that we've been seeing on the
Radiant's
Gyrocopter
bottom
quite a lot.
tower is under
Into that
attack.
drums, into straight BKB, fighting non-stop, making the space for his EG. They have very strong team fight. Tanking, Gyro, Earth Spirit, Undying, these four fighting very easily. Still have decent fight, but it's not nearly as strong.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Shadow Demon Lion. You look at the
Radiant's
supports, right? Shadow Demon
are
Lion compared to the
fortified.
Earth Spirit Undying. Earth Spirit Undying provides much more.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How about the pickup? This map pressure. Trying to get this bottom
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Space. Midas though. You know,
Radiant's
creep
bottom
distracts the
tower
Warsman. Roger will
has
get the aggro, bringing over for efficiency.
Yeah, he wants to keep his levels up. Team players actually reducing their efficiency. Back to the enemy jungle. He is spotted by some wards.
Dire's middle
What's
tower
here?
is under attack.
A flash here towards the river.
Link is for he wants to go in. He's done leave.
He was open for an opportunity. They do still find Ramsey left alone. I did the job.
Okay.
Did the job.
Don't need the epic. They had vision of him there during that smoke. Get that cooking since done. And that's the beauty about having such an early blink here on S4. They have the follow-up as well with crit when he is near the area with that.
Kind of awkward there for V people. They're in the area and then they sort of bailed and Ramsey sort of stays on that bottom area of the map on his own. So towards the line, they do find him on the high ground. The rest of EG, some of them are coming over. It's just there's two supports poking around Roger. He's got the six, but S4 jumps in, links in with the stun. They have to use the stampede here to save two supports. And we'll save them. We'll get them back to safety. Down up top. No, it's easy alone. If he has got Song, he's going to get the chance to pop it off. That's the question. He gets it off. Song's there. Mana is just about to be back up for the TP, and he will make it away.
That was...
No, it won't.
Oh.
He what?
Wait, what?
He what?
He cancelled.
No. Hey? Why?
That was a misclicked. That's it.
What?
It was just a misclick.
Oh.
And Pasha knows.
Oh, no.
Can he catch him?
He'll be
won't
able
catch
to walk back, but...
What a waste of time.
Yeah.
That was a little scary.
Gotta be careful with those misclicks. I guess it's still early morning.
You're gonna keep busting
In
out
game,
there early morning.
it's the only reason, right?
Now
he's low.
Oh, they get him anyway.
Oh no! Oh, TC!
Man, what a mistake coming out.
He uses the sleep and he's still asleep. He cancels his own TP and he's dead for it.
And VP know he's gonna be greedy as well. Instead of him going back, they're like, he's gonna go shrine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, I can't afford to make mistakes like that. This is TI, ladies and gentlemen.
That's very costly. He's dead for a pretty long time, and it gives Ramses that time to
Radiant's top tower
maybe get
is under
closer
attack.
toward that Radiance. He's pretty much got the relic actually finished up. Sumail will continue to lead board in that net worth, but yeah, definitely a big hiccup there for EG as VP takes advantage of it.
Should be able to have a catch onto Roger here. Jump ball from S4, blocks him up.
Radiant's
Get
top
Roger.
tower has fallen.
Gotta watch out for those mistakes. Manta is done. Actually, no one's far. He's high up. Bloodstone.
Yeah, he's trying to tank up. Tanky build. Lots of damage coming out, and lots of damage and control coming from out from each. He's not actually wanting to go for that BKB. We saw Sumail. He committed for the second in BKB when he was playing versus a little bit more greedy. As it is go time for EG. The BKB finished on Sumail. They're definitely look to assert their dominance here. Have some control in the enemy field. We'll be the one to walk up C solo. All the BP here too. He just ties out a hold of that. Should have set up for Sumail to move in with the flag. Stampede's popped though. BP are out of there. And S4 whips the stun.
They don't kill anyone. BP will keep everybody alive with that Stampede play, and that's a BKB down and a dead crit.
Expected that movement
Radiant's
is there.
bottom tower is under
This
attack.
game is close. EG
absolutely.
cannot afford to make these sort of mistakes. It's going to buy time for Ramses. Get these key items on. Relic.
He's ahead
Radiance
of-
is pretty much done.
He's top net worth. Yeah, he's got it
Dyer's
after.
top tower is under
And with
attack.
minute now.
that, he can absolutely turn up and start to cause a lot of issues for EG's heroes. In with the Rage and the Radiance, he'll burn them down.
Yep, he even just infest the big one of the ancients there, and Kane Rune as well for no one. Ramses also in a very good spot this time now. You actually have with that Nox at that last game. Said Lion a natural one and this Lifestealer, maybe not the most traditional.
It's not bad timing at all for Ramses. This game 2 is certainly looking to have a much better outlook for BP than game 1 did. Get this one close game on our hands.
It looks like it's just going to be a tanky build as well for Pasha, as he has he already has somebody else who can initiate for him. He's just going to be going for the Crimson Pipe. Crimson Guard, especially good versus that Gyrocopter, and then the Pipe, of course. Just tank up for the team. Auras that EG won't have. That's the one about EG's drafts, is they don't really build those. It's going to have to be Crit who ends up going back to those. As I see Crit, but that's going to be a lot slower in comparison. Bit of a farm slowdown here. BP controlling their jungle.
He's so close to the refusals for him to try and find action before that. A lot of items coming up very soon on EG's heroes. BP, they're good to play the farm game. Ramses is more than happy to make the magic happen with the Radiance as he goes camp to camp.
They're all definitely getting a decent amount of farm here. BP still going to stick together on Pasha too. Like I said, securing their jungle farm, making sure still all grouped up together. Got Finger up in about 10 seconds. And no, Roger also is about to have a glimmer.
Radiant are
He will have his own way to kind of.
Radiant's bottom tower
Trades.
is under attack.
Side of the map, same thing.
Right, I'm more happy to look for fight.
Radiant's
Well,
bottom
that's easy.
tower is under attack.
Diffusal, RTZ, BKB, Gyro. Definitely going to try to set up for something. Set up on the high ground already, solo.
Same angle from earlier.
Solo's got back.
Jump in. Solo quick enough. It will find him. Just been popped. Back up the back line. No one around. These are in straight away. Fly. Now the turn towards the mill. Buyback comes out from Fly. Now PG's VP want to try and chase for more. On the side, RTZ finds the gap. Jones to rush. RTZ with the illusions out, trying to keep the fight going in their favor. Crick gets one more rollout, but they surround RTZ. They're on top of the Nagasaur. He's going to find his Zora, but it's not enough. RTZ, he's going to get taken down first. Down, but it's in with the fire epi. He's not enough though. No one still doesn't matter to zip up to the high ground of Ramses. He's just cleaning up. It's a triple kill. kill for the Lifestealer. And Ramses, he's not done yet. He's going to be able to chase down Fly. Opens wounds back up in a second. He's also still got the range to play with. So he'll move in, chase down Fly. Ramses is surely going to find his Fly's trying his best to juke the Jukes. He juked the Juke. Fly. Okay, Fly will live. He juked him. Fly will get out.
The Quelling Blade cuts the tree, cuts up.
It's still a big fight for VP and especially for Ramses. A triple kill on the Lifestealer. EG looked to force a fight. Ends up a bit of a nightmare. Ramses is pushed further and further ahead in this game. He's got 3k gold after that fight.
Look at that damage. 6,800 damage almost in those 54 seconds.
This early on in the game as well, 21 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the power of the Radiant's Lifestealer.
And it's straight up 50-50. He's doing the magical as well as the physical. They get the perfect jump. They get Fly before he's able to get a single spell off. Fly has to buy back and kind of run into the fight, but it's too far away from their base.
And like S4 is a great angle, but it was just a little bit too late, right? People had already started to die. Find Roger here. Ramses sort of just watching inside. Actually, will they find Roger? He's going to be able to Glimmer Cape and step out of it. There's 4 members of EG hunting for him. They will find him. We'll get Roger. In fact, it's the full 5 of EG moving around still as a team trying to make these kills happen. But Ramses, he's the real problem. They've only killed him once this game. Since then, the farm is just continuing. He's going to get that Manta done.
Yep. Much better ways, like we said. In the last game, they didn't have ways to deal with those Naga Siren illusions or anything. Now, as we've been seeing in those fights, they do have that magic damage with that Radiance Burn as well as that Storm Spirit. No one who's doing pretty good, yeah. His Blood also finished up level 17 as well.
I will see this fight again. So, obviously at the start, it's a very quick kill onto the supports. But then after that, it sort of slows down for EG these moves.
And Sumail already committed call down as well there.
And just the damage being done by Ramses. Sumail having put the BKB get to the side. And then here, Ramses just burning through all of these heroes, all of the illusions. And as for, he finally is able to sort of get in, but it's all just a little too late. Shaw lands on the 3 of them, but no one's surviving, and Ramses just shredding through EG piece by piece.
Mid-lane Pasha steps up extremely far up here, trying to go for the tower, it looks like, with all of the pieces in position, and that's a free kill on Pasha. Yeah, in that last fight, though, the thing about EG is they have to make sure they have the call down too, right? Like Sumail, he had already popped the call down to BKB. He didn't actually have his full way to get into the fight to do damage to them there. But now EG with that pickoff.
There they go for Rush. And Pasha's had a few of these deaths this game that have been a little uncharacteristic of Pasha.
Incredibly far pushed up in particular, right? Even bottom when he got picked up, he was super far up.
You expect those sort of deaths on solo, but you know, going out as a support. But as your offlaner, just sure he's a centaur, he's built strong and tanky, but you cannot underestimate the damage and control that EG have. They will kill you. But now EG will be forced to back out away from the pit. They know that VP is setting up a round. It's up very soon. No one.
Ooh, another Arcane Rune. He had one in the last fight. Now he's got another one, and he is level 18 too. So these Infest plays, they're gonna be pretty threatening for EG.
Yeah, positioning has to be absolutely perfect from EG. Otherwise, every single fight you're gonna lose to one of the supports at the start. That zip combo.
I think I know last game he had it queued up when he went for the butterfly. I think that's because they started cruising. I think this one, when you're playing versus combo, you gotta have to.
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
A lot of magic gonna be coming in.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get up. They've got available. They're feeling great. Level 18 Storm, level 19 Lifesteal, like we were saying. Arcane Rune available.
I mean, I think the Ramses Lifesteal, like they have to chain stun him.
Saw them walking down.
The Rage and the Manta, he's just going to feel invincible in these fights.
He's about to be level 20 as well, so he's about to have that 20% evasion talent. Bounty runes. Stupendous. 3 of those. Hey, Roger, he's on cleanup duty. I mean, I can imagine he's gotten so many illusions in this game already. Like, look at his gold, right? He's got the Glimmer Cape and everything, but he's got a lot of money for being only 2 and 4. And there's the BK stuff for it. A way to actually protect himself first.
Dire are scanning.
Not your most normal build, of course, you see on the Naga Siren, but definitely in it.
Let the fun begin! Where's the party?
Healthy. Half mana pool. Fully healthy. They're picking him out. They see transition. They want to actually try to go for no one here.
They're going to make the jump. Now they've got the chain control. Glimmer Cape's going to be in. Roger off the start. They're going to go charging straight in with the stampede. The cooldown comes down. And now the last one. The Fetus, Joyce Bullet, burns down as well. Asher Ramsey surrounded. at Song. He's going to assess the situation. Want to get out of there. Crit's low. The rest of EG will back off. It is a buyback from no one. They want to make sure that he finds nothing with it. So they'll disengage EG.
S4 and no one both buyback actually inside of that fight. But yeah, EG having to disengage there soon. Kept the arcade move. He did get gone on instantly, get chain disabled, so still look to fight.
They absolutely can. They know that they can sort of try and pull something out of EG.
Yeah.
No one waiting on the wings, ready to zip in on a potential target.
RT's in the BKB, but Sumail was able to actually save his inside of that. He does still have that available for them. So no magnetize. Farming enemy jungle.
Able to scout around with those Manta illusions from Ramsey, so they know that EG's up there.
Loving the Manta build, of course. Playing versus Earth Spirit, just removing the silence, even removing the net.
Radiant's
very good
middle
item to build.
tower is under attack.
Really not the fight that no one would have wanted.
No.
As soon as he gets that Bloodstone, does immediately lose charges upon it.
At least you lose half, you only lose 3.
Sure.
It's not super devastating, but yeah.
It's never the way you want. Never the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Aghanim's done for Sumail.
Radiant's
He's got the
bottom
Maelstrom
tower
too, so his
is under
damage.
attack.
He's gonna be dishing out quite a lot of the fights too, so he can't be ignored. But he is hard to bring down if they don't get instant lockdown. If these heroes get their BKBs up on AG, they're gonna be tough to die. They don't really have the best physical damage, or Life Stealer does. But him sticking on target still can, even though moving down plus that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Chan. Awed by both of the teams now. They both know that it's hard for them to fight in. On one side you've got the threat of EG resetting the fight with Arteezy's Song, and the other VP very able to get away with the Stampede.
Yeah, neither team in particular I would say kills it amazing. EG now they're starting to kill pretty well because they at least have like the Riptide minus armor, and Gyro starts having items, but you look at VPs and it's okay. It's not like those like super Roche killing lineups or anything.
I'd say it would take them a bit of time.
Yeah, they don't have I don't believe they have a medallion or anyone building a solo crest either on the side of VP.
Closest thing to it is Ramsey's trying to get the AC online next.
It's actually pretty shocking. I think most of the time I see most teams like it's a medallion is a rare picked up like, super early on. Nobody actually having a medallion at all in this game. Yeah, no one having a medallion at all.
Especially on the hero on the side of like EG, Solar Crested Gyro, that does work.
Yeah, you'd have to
Someone can
imagine.
build it for.
You'd have to imagine eventually, but Crit was prioritizing going like he wants the mech first. He wants to get some of that. But maybe he's time of the medallion. He's already 1,000 done get nothing. Maybe. The bounty's coming up in about 4 or 5 seconds. He's prepared. He's spotted.
This was it. Get out of there. That's big use for Sumail. Be able to get no one
Radiant's
out.
middle tower is under
KB
attack.
Jar down the Jara. To base on goes. Heal up, and again, EG, they were trying to find that fight that maybe have set them up for Roche, but without finding any kills, it's not going to be the case.
Still so important that he's just getting just the Glimmer Cape there, right? That extra magic resistance that's coming into play just because Roger's in the right position is really helping out so much. He probably would die if Roger was not there. I would say most definitely would die if Roger was not. Pasha, as we said, got hard in type. Well, that's a lot of damage. It's going to be negated out of the shot.
And EG is do it quickly. And VP, they don't expect there's no one around to check this one out. So EG's going to get away with the Aegis.
Okay, very quickly brought down at this point once they start picking up all these items. That hard right to go. No one is stuck well behind in the net worth is great. Looks like he's actually in for a solo kill on to he will have it. More hits.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Minute, so refreshes his earn charge.
Nice fall. See if we can set up for more, but 4-star from Roger will come back to safety. The rest of EG not quite there to back him up. VP holding on to that 2k lead. EG for those objectives of players with to having it just need to go.
They have that 2k like 3K actually, it's more evenly displaced, right? You see Roger, how rich he is. I have to say, like, it's a lot of saying it, but he's very rich. But you look at Noah, he is 5,000 behind.
Got the Bloodstone at a deep time, but they've just not really been able to get any players going. A lot of yeah, he has to just have the ball right out. You cannot find a situation where he's simply.
Got good ways to save him though. Look, we talked. Roger, Beck Limmer came with more of that. He's making
Dire's
sure
middle
he's
tower is under attack.
at least trying to win the fights. No one will be, of course, about keeping really desperately needs.
Radiant
So I can
are
take the fight.
scanning. Dire's middle tower is under
Butterfly
attack.
done for RT.
Well, Butterfly for Artesian, Sume also approaching a Daedalus. Really scary item once you have Gyrocopter.
BK now. Now we can potentially see him get in and get away with being able to get some.
He's going to be us on the Storm Spirit too. He's been playing. He can actually stick on, in particular, that Sand King. They wanted to bring down his inside of the fights.
Dire's bottom
Jump
tower
forward.
is
S4.
under
Right in deep. He's got the setup onto Solo. Solo was stunned back on TP's out coming in. Missile heading Solo's way. Smith won't get the kill with it. Makes me hot like Crit, but it won't save them. Lion S4 gets destroyed by VP. Now no one's hunting for more into the tree. Got eyes on Crit. Crit will be able to roll away. Arteezy pops the song. See what the plan is here. It is going to be just getting out. TP out will save him. This time he won't cancel it. VP quick reactions to make sure that they get those 2 kills. They punish EG for diving pretty aggressively for that on Solo.
Yeah, they able to actually isolate both of them there, and the Soul Catcher, you see it just chunking both of them down heavily.
It's a deep dive.
Bit too far forward there.
And Roger just is what perfect sort of 2-man stun, I believe. Just the one.
But it's enough.
And then with Rams being able to turn up damage just instantly.
And not a losing Sand King, one of the big team runners, and losing the Undying with that.
His farm continues to keep him at the top. It's just all coming together for life together.
Hey, he fixes the Maelstrom. Makes him Nagas turn.
Oh yeah, once he has the complete zone
You only your MK is the last 2. Yeah. Maybe we'll see Barry if it doesn't actually. Very well done, right? No one was able to recover a couple of them. G smoking out themselves here. Big time.
To find them. I'm Roger. Be cool.
Trying to play around that 1 minute whether you have the Aegis. Sumail running over immediately to that mid lane, seeing if they get any type of more advantage there. Also, Bounty when it's coming up about
Dire's
30
middle
seconds.
tower is under
So
attack.
trying to assert their dominance and get that map control. Bounties.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Start to poke at the high ground. They are down for 50 seconds. And then a zip out with the infest. They do clear the creep wave.
Now back up. Try to collect the 4 bounties. No one is not gonna be there. Bottom. He saw this. He's gonna be able to catch him. They're trying. No one. Then he uses
a hard
TP.
here.
They're hunting.
Stun.
Silence. Put the BKB. The next stun. Hold on to it. He has a lot of mana to zip away.
Over here now.
All the way.
All the way back. It's with that Bloodstone.
It's Aegis in flames. EG. Shrink the lead a little.
What would you imagine Sumail's next time is? So we'll go for the Daedalus. He's already got early.
Yeah.
Okay. The drums out gets satanic.
It's just so nice because if you're stunned, you're gonna feel that feeling
super
so
good
much,
with the
especially with Daedalus. Daedalus makes it so you get one of those little side learners, it crits, and you're gonna be healing so much. Even if you don't pop the satanic, you're healing a lot during it. And also, versus those, he doesn't get the beat. Definitely the best time.
Usually with more of those auras getting leveled up, we've got the full greaves now for crit and fly. It's the completed pipe. Ramsey's, there it is. Pull me up.
Oh, I was Fly has pile.
Fly,
Fly's rich.
S4 has a fly. Flyer.
I think he's probably gonna buy the
He's
medallion
right?
glimmer or
Yeah.
staff. He's gonna get one of them whenever he like is able to survive inside of a fight, but very unlikely that he gets. Poor dying. Not even having a GPM talent or anything.
Dire are scanning.
Unable to get it.
Scan will hit from VP. They know that EG's on the high ground.
Ramsey's level 25. Now that rage duration.
Yeah,
also
he's-
Mjolnir finished up.
It's terrifying.
They've
They
got a
have to
pretty good
somehow
timing.
deal with the lifesteal at the start of the fight. Otherwise, he's just going to clean them up.
Nullify also on easy.
VP disengaged with the Stampede, roll over to Pash, crit locks him down. They'll move Arteezy on top of him, but use the Nullifier, but they have to be careful. Now on Arteezy and Sumail. Back up, done, step into the pool for no one. They've locked down Arteezy. Arteezy is going solo, but it doesn't matter. The rage was out from Ramses and it'll bite him down anyway. As this Lifestealer is an absolute nightmare. The illusions for Roger are as well, as Arteezy will actually pick up the Lion Kill with the Nagasar illusions, but Ramses he's terrifying. They cannot kill this Lifestealer. He is a huge issue. Every time we're seeing these jumps from EG, they always get Roger or Solo at the start of the fight, but there's always more than enough time for Ramsey to just pop the rage, turn towards these targets. S4's jumping in, he's dying immediately.
He literally
Lifestealer.
Almost instantly, well not instantly, but he dies within a few seconds inside of those fights every single time he does go forward. And Bloodstone charges stacked up for VP. The fight's definitely looking difficult. Sumail is still packing so much damage inside of the fights, but he's getting cut. Like you said, those BKBs, they're getting low. It's 6 seconds on Sumail. While Lifestealer doesn't have to worry about that ever. He's got that 8-second rage.
How do you deal with the Lifestealer? What is the best sort of play for EG? Do they have to sort of sit back and wait until VP make a positioning mistake, have Ramses on the front so they can get the jump on him? I mean, even then, that's hard, right? There is the Stampede, there's the disruption. There are ways that VP can protect this Lifestealer, and they have been doing so. Ramses has been able to have free reign in every single team fight.
I think it's the same thing that we see VP doing. Gotta get the backlines. The backline just
they all get one of the supports, but
they have to get
they got to get multiple heroes.
They have to get multiple. Yeah.
They get with these S4 jumps on one, they're not enough now, right? He needs to get sort of 2-man burrow strikes.
Maybe simultaneous initiations they have to try to get off here. Like Crit goes on one target as S4 goes on the other ones, because even the little saves coming into play. 4 staffs coming in from Roger.
Yeah,
Roger's putting a lot of work in.
Yeah, they are. They're playing these fights perfectly, VP. And these pretty much all of these fights are fights that EG come for. They're not fights that VP's having to take. They're brought to them. Ramses is just getting bigger and bigger. 4K put on top of his already very much stacked inventory.
It's really tanky, right? The core side of VP are really hard to bring down. No one, he's a little bit squishy, but you look at Pasha as well as Ramses. Like, how do you focus fire these guys? Ramses is gonna get 37 armor. Plus, if you don't kill him, he's just gonna get the rage off. Pasha, 2,900 with that 27 armor, and even a Lotus Sword. Very hard to get any type of pick on these basically going for those backlines is the better options. As a particular Solo doesn't have to save. You just have to, they can kill Solo right away. It's gonna be a lot easier for them to. Bounty runes coming up in about 10 seconds. Also double power runes. So map control is ever so important now. See what these, I mean, a DD rune on a gyrocopter, an arcane rune spirit. Is an arcane rune.
Death tax. Illusion.
Clear out some of the counts of EG's jungle, or at least just keep that bottom lane all the way out.
Now he's sitting at 3,400 HP, of course, as we see they're taking that target. Very tanky. Focus fire. Sumail still definitely can't do so in the build. Look at Sumail's next item. The neat versus that Lifestealer. Not your normal, but he's queued up an Abyssal Blade. Some way to just lock down, piercing that BKB. That they have, I mean, they have nothing in their draft to pierce the BKB or the Raged Lifestealer.
Oh yeah, they have nothing to kill the Raged Lifestealer. You see in these fights, just get straight on top of Sumail. At least with that, yeah. Way that Sumail can
Radiant's
step away,
bottom tower is under
wasting
attack.
time in that magic lunacy.
turret. Also now hitting level 20, so his items also will start to develop more and more on that turret. Yeah,
Radiant's bottom tower
scaling
is
of
under
all
attack.
these support heroes.
Decisions seemingly to still be made by Rams. He's got 7k go as he ponders on what he wants to pick up for himself next. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, what the MKB or
MKB has its arguments, of course, versus the Nagato.
For himself, does he
or
want
does
the
he want to
Abyssal?
just tank up? That's the thing I'm thinking. Does he want to just tank up with either Heart or an Abyssal? Abyssal has a bit of a double benefit, of course, but we've also seen a lot of players grabbing that Heart because of the way we know the interaction with Feast and with Opus does work now. It'll make ridiculous tankier because he's only 2200 HP. Sure, he has a lot of armor, but
is that raw HP? At all. But then again, I mean, his sort of problem isn't dying.
that's why.
Maybe a fair survival would be nicer. EG trying to poke for a fight. He's just the focus one, just got the lead down, no one's in with the zip, with the bingo, that's one kill. Ramsey, then he's moved on to the next one, he's now heading up there. Oh, on, sits him with the BKB, some pots the BKB himself. Turned around with the flag, VP back up behind. Chasing down Roger, Tapu Juice, Roger's able to just run up there, chasing the ball, and that's going to leave Let's Point on the back line. I mean, could just clean them up, but again, it's a triple kill for Ramsey. As that Roger, that sexy lion just debates the whole of AG.
No one's out of bed.
He's on top of him, so they'll be able to offer a disruption. Keep no one safe from the back. Ready to turn. He's life stealing up, but there's a lot of EGs that are running in front of him. The sunset up to 2. He's back. Full HP. Arties is dead. It's a double kill from Arties. Export tries to get a race. Hence is there. They pull back. They pull back for this. VP did as well, but VP are the ones to come out well and truly on top.
Ramsey's just proving to be absolutely immortal inside of the fight.
They cannot kill him.
10,000 gold. He buys the full MKB. He's decided which one he wanted.
And how many buybacks was that? It was 4 buybacks from EG. It was 2 as well from VP. 5, sorry. There's too many. It doesn't even show them on the left. A full 5-man buyback from EG. And they still lose the fight miserably.
Oh my, 13,000 damage. Oh my god. Just held his ground. Like you said, Gyrocopter Sumail, he started chasing this